Hey, what's going on? This is Mike Felix, and I want to talk to you for a moment about something that I think is going to help you out a lot when it comes to actually like launching your business and taking it seriously. So I tell people a lot, write down what you want. Okay, and that might sound cliche, right? But at times you have to write down what you want. What do you want? And it might sound like a very simple question, but it's not just a simple question, but it's the question that's going to lead your mind to do what the subconscious just needs to do. If you don't know what you want, if you don't write down things that you desire, your mind, your subconscious doesn't tend to work. If you don't write down the things you want, or you don't identify what you want and set when you want it, the subconscious has no urgency. Okay, so in business, and there's a couple things you can define as what you want, right? Some of us like material things, so you might say, hey, you know what, I want a new car, I want a new house, I want things, you know, I want clothes, I want this. Like, you can write this stuff down, but then you have to define what it is, right? How much is that new car that you want? Is it a Camry or is it a Porsche, right? Is it a Maserati or is it a Maxima, right? Like, you have to write it down, and you got to put how much it costs, primarily because, again, your mind needs to have certain definition points so its subconscious works. Now, the other thing that people say they want is a certain amount of wealth. If you want to be a millionaire, just know that being a millionaire isn't about making $1 million. Being a millionaire is all about having a certain amount of assets, positive assets that exceed $1 million. So when your net worth is plus $1 million, then you're considered a millionaire, right? So if that's what you want, define that. Begin to say, hey, I would like my portfolio, my investment portfolio. I want my tax deferred accounts. I want my investment accounts. I want, like, if you add up all of the equitable interests you have in various companies, if you add all of that stuff up, minus whatever liabilities you have, debt and stuff like that, you want to be plus $1 million. So you write that down, and your subconscious starts to get to work. Okay, this might sound simple, but it's very important. I can't tell you how many people never write down what they want. They never write down what they want, so their subconscious never works. So they end up leaning on their conscious, and you know what happens? They end up getting overwhelmed. They end up getting stressed because your subconscious is doing way too much. Because your conscious is doing too much work. Your conscious is doing too much work. I was at a workshop a while ago, and the question was posed, you know, what does a to-do list do for you? Like when you create a to-do list, what does that do for your mind? And the answer that everybody had was, it helps you remember. And the reality was, he was like, no, it doesn't help you remember. It helps you forget. You have the opportunity to forget because you offloaded your to-do list on something. You brought it into reality. So your subconscious doesn't have to try to act like it's conscious. Your subconscious doesn't have to act like the conscious. So when you offload a lot of that, when you start to write stuff down, when you start to set goals, when you start to say, hey, like, this is when I want to get things and this is what I want, your subconscious begins to work. Let me know if you would like some tactics on, like, kind of where to start with this, and how you can capture your desirables in a way so that you can start working to it. All right, take care.